Okay, we got. I got to scoot over. Yeah, I gotta scoot over. Okay, we're live.
Coming to
Yay.
you live, fresh out of Texas to the heat in this bitch. I was joking. It's not that bad outside. It's 88, soon to be 88 degrees.
The innermost fiery depths of Mordor, which is known as my apartment, with no counter ventilation, heating whatsoever. Look, I have a tank top. I have no hat, no nothing.
Ooh, okay.
You see my little.
Okay.
Look, I have hair in places that hair needs to be, and so on and
And
so
for
forth.
your monthly subscription of $6.99, you too
You
can
see
get
me take
more.
it all off. And just, everything. And see that taco meat on my chest and all that. Just go ahead and put some salsa on it.
Not salsa. But then again, with that man who got like $2.3 million just like rubbing condiments on his stomach, you can do whatever you like, boo.
You know what? I had a mild 3-week streak on my OnlyFans where I made a decent chunk change by
What's
eating.
decent, if you don't mind me asking?
Not a lot. It was maybe like 200 per show. Not a lot. Eating tacos and then stepping on the leftovers with my foot. This was when I was working at Housing Works.
Talk about it.
You turn on. I commend you for turning on that ring light because mine is like killing me right
It's
now.
okay. I'm just gonna put.
I mean, you could change the you could
I
change
was
the
just
hue
making it a little bit, not too
dark, too
corrosive.
So basically, I was at Housing Works, and I was. So basically, I had made commentary about starting an OnlyFans, and it got out of hand because people thought I was serious. I was joking about it. I mean, I did make an account. There was no content on it.
Gotcha.
I was just joking around, and I just got curious one day, and I went live, and I was just messing around trying to see what it looked like on the phone, so on and so forth, and like a few people logged in. I guess I must have had followers or something. I don't know. I really didn't think I did. And I was just eating, and some guy was like, "Oh, rub it all over your chest, and I'll send you money." And I was like, "What?" Like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
And he became a constant for about 3 weeks. Then I guess he must have found someone else and disappeared. And that was kind of like the end of my little mild.
Yeah, there was probably like shoving burritos up their butt.
I can't. I don't have
while singing Selena.
the dreaming of you tonight
Till tomorrow.
Basically, but welcome to another this right here. Episode 6 of the Be Responsible podcast, live and in person. It is episode 6. Yeah, it is episode 6. Because episode 5 went down just a few weeks back. I guess on that point, we apologize for not following the scheduled. Is that a double negative? The schedule we had originally said we were. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, primarily.
And plus, just to let the viewers, our 11 current fans know,
We're at 12 now.
12. Let's get it. Number one,
and we
plus
got
one.
four subscriptions.
Okay. Also, as well as June. June is kind of like we rectify that as our celebrations for Juneteenth, Puerto Rican Day Parade, and also for Pride. So we just took some time with the month of June to like celebrate the goodness that is our melanin.
He did. I didn't. I was late, so basically.
So he says.
No. We'll talk about your little Pride adventures in a second. He's always I'm like he's like good cop. I'm like bad cop. So he's always the positive.
Vice versa.
Therapist, rainbow, Sailor Moon, so on and so forth, etc., etc.
Oh, you want to tell them real quickly about the Sailor Moon syndrome that we said that we?
So we were basically having this. So we were just chit chatting before we got started because I had it set up because it's been a while and I had some stuff I had to take care of. So I had to redo the setup and so on and so forth. So we were just watching these random YouTube shorts that I've been watching for research and shit, and it was a whole situation with a whole sugar daddy vibe and the show and him starting his business and so on and so forth.
Guardian.
Yeah, glucose guardian. Yeah, Rashid today found out the meaning of the word glucose guardian.
Yes, I didn't know that because we've been using sugar daddy since the dog in time, right? Since like Madonna's Material Girl, but Now it's like I heard a new terminology for the 21st century called glucose guardians.
I think that was a white.
And then there had to be a white.
He was laughing for a whole 5
I'm
minutes.
like, glucose what?
I'm like, yeah, basically sugar daddy, because sugar, glucose. But usually when they use it, it's a Caucasian connotation. It means you have a white sugar daddy. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I have no problem. But that came up. He was laughing for a whole 5 minutes, and then I was reminiscing about one time, because then it led to another video where this guy was doing his top 10 list of porn stars and so on and so forth. Some of them I knew, which is what led to the conversation, because I was talking about this conversation where I met someone way back when I was somewhere between 17 and 19, because I was working at Kmart. And Kmart, I was working when I was 17, 19, and I met this dude probably, I don't know, it was probably off of Adam, because we did not have Jack back then.
Adam for Adam.
Yeah, it had to be Adam for Adam or BGC or something. And we were hanging out, and the whole thing was that I didn't know that at that point in time, this dude was basically the gay equivalent of Paris Hilton. He came from money. His family owned businesses. He was a socialite.
What was his ethnicity, if you don't mind me asking?
He was German and black.
Oh, shit.
But he was German and black, but he literally looked like Chris Brown.
Oh, my God.
It completely threw you off.
Oh, I would have gotten on that 10 times 10.
He had that kind of like light skin privilege situation going on. Yeah, but then he was black and German, and he did not look black or German at all. He looked like some mixed biracial albino baby. I mean, he was good looking, but like I said, he had kind of like a Chris Brown look appeal to him. Yeah. Tell us more. So little did I know that he was like this big time gay socialite, because I didn't put two and two together, because I was just into him because I was into him. So we had met up after work, and relating it to the whole porn star situation. So we went to like this after party where the Go-Go Boys and so on and so forth, and like everybody and their mama was there. Like if you know, Castro was there, Tiger Tyson was there. Everybody was there, and I'm just like with him chilling and everything. And then Tiger and Castro pass us by, and I'm like, wait, aren't those like two porn stars from the thing? He's like, yeah, you want to fuck them? I'm like, what? Excuse me? That's how he's like, yeah, like I just slept with them yesterday. I'm like, okay, so this is the life that we live. Interesting. So
could have been living.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Mainly just because I had done a double at Kmart, and I was not. And I mean, had I been properly fresh, clean, and ready to go, maybe that night would have ended in a different direction. But then again, considering what I heard, nothing against Castro and so on, but everybody's been with him. Whether it was paid or unpaid, so I don't know if I wanted to be added to that list, but
kind of like the requirements of
the
requirements of being a porn star, right? I mean,
he doesn't do it for me. Like he has the body and his dick and cricket and so on and so forth and yada yada yada. But like I was talking to you earlier, if you've seen his work, his straight stuff, well, quote unquote straight, is better than his gay stuff. But anyway, going back to the story, we're going off topic. If I would have stood with the socialite guy, like I would have been set for life. Like I would not be in the situation I'm in right now. I would have had money, influence, everything. But no, I had to be, like we said, all Sailor Moon about it, and let me be a good Christian and positivity and everything else, and do the right thing and not associate with these type of people. And look at fucking me now.
But like and that's the thing too. I find to be very interesting, because I was relating very heavily with Dexter here, that there were opportunities in my young gay youth self where we came across like very influential people that we of course never knew what influential was, because we didn't have like Instagram, Facebook,
that, or they had
TikTok,
questionable ethical practices like Diddy.
Yeah, for sure. Or maybe there's like, but whatever the case may be, they were set, and then they were looking at guys like us as to, hey,
partake.
Let me just do you want to be a part of this? It's
like you want to be my houseboy?
Do you want to be my, you just make breakfast? That's all I want you to do is make breakfast, and give me a foot massage, and I'll give you like
nothing exactly. And I'm like,
well, I'll give you $5,000.
I'm a lady. I'm of class.
Right.
We don't do that.
People I remember one time when I went to the bar Monsters. If you know, the Monsters.
Monster's still there.
Yeah,
that's the one that has the 2 floors. The first one.
Yeah, the first one's like a piano level where you get to like sing show tunes. And
yeah, and then the underground, that big
like,
stretch. Okay.
Yeah. So pretty much, I met like this one Parisian man who just comes to New York just to have fun. And he like dealt money across like different banks in Europe, and so pretty much he had a thing for me, and he said, yeah, he's like, look, if you like, we can leave tomorrow. Do you have any obligations? It's like you don't have to worry about food or nothing. I'll give you an allowance for you to spend, and yeah, just spend time with me. And of course, still mooning here, I said, oh, but I got my mom, and I got my sister, and
you're
you
old.
Know, yeah, and plus, you know, what are you gonna think of me if I left with a very rich Parisian
that I've never seen before?
That's offering me a one day lifetime with an allowance of five bands. No, I gotta go home and make sure that I'm home before Buffy starts. Like,
hey, don't come for Buffy like that.
No, we all, of course, but you know what I mean. We have to get in before a certain time before, you know, they get too worried that something happens to you. But like, if we said at such a young age, fuck it.
I would not be in the situation I'm in right now.
Yeah, like you know what?
In the situation I am right now.
Mom's demanding. I got my siblings that's taking all my stuff without telling me. All I gotta do is just pack like a couple of underwears, t-shirts, and shorts, and just let this Parisian take me to wherever.
I know. I don't have to suck dick on the corner for $40. Struggle to promote and sell my OnlyFans. Cut my toenails. Try to put them on Feet Finder.
And let's play with the idea, right? That they get tired saying to us like, "Oh, you know, you're a little bit too old now. I want a new young thing." Like you mentioned before. We would have banked on the allowance that they gave us.
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think people just say that to say that.
I think it's a thing.
I've been seeing some ugly old people getting it. Because let me tell you, nothing against this person in particular, but there is a, I don't know if she is transitioning.
Okay.
Because the whole thing, you know, like I'm being PC about it. Like, you know, I really don't fucking care about it. But just to be civil, I'll be PC about it. There is a person that lives upstairs towards the back. I don't know what unit it is that they live in. It's towards the back. But I know they are biologically male, but physically presenting, I guess is the correct term without offending anybody, and emotionally and psychologically and on and so forth, they identify as male, whether they're tranny, transitioning, post-op, pre-op, transvestite, or whatever the case may be. That I don't know. I've never had a chance to have that conversation with. Gotcha. I just ran into them in passing, but I know biologically they're male, but they identify as female because there's been situations where I've seen her in the area interacting with the I don't want to call them DLs, but you know, interacting with the questionably straight individuals, and she tells them, you know, like I might look like you know, I might have manly features, but I'm all female, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Shit, where the fuck were we going with this? I got kind of sidetracked. We were talking about something. It was connecting, and now it's not connecting.
Okay, so before we start talking about the person who's transitioning, and how ugly people.
There we go. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Because she's older. She's older than us, but she bags.
Okay,
she gets the
as she should.
For lack of better terms, good-looking trade. Because you know, really, there's certain terms I don't like using because I don't like feeding into it. But it, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I could try to be, you know, semantics and try to use more PC terms and so on and so forth. But at this point in time, like I think I said it before, I'm kind of tired of walking on the eggshells with the whole PC thing. So if it offends you, but anyway, so for like you said, not you, but that statement you made before, she's older.
Okay.
And physically,
she's looking kind of
by my standards, no, she's not what I would consider.
Right.
But you know, beauty is the eye of the beholder, or so on and so forth. Yada. But for the context of this conversation, she's not what I would be considered pretty or attractive. But
What she's
she
gonna get to.
bags because
Well,
I be
you know,
seeing like I'm like, oh,
I mean,
like
but
that's what you were making all that noise 5 minutes ago for, like, oh, okay.
but then
Like,
again, if you got the coins, you know what I mean. It's not easy. It's not like a cheap procedure of transitioning over.
I thought that conversation was at somewhere else because I'm like, that bitch is broke.
Yeah, no,
I know she not paying them that much.
no
I know she not
way.
paying them, and I know she not making content.
She's
so.
making something.
I
I don't know. She's doing like gummy jobs on some.
Maybe they buying her. Maybe they buying her groceries. Be like, rearrange my guts, to get that.
You know, her OnlyFans is about: do you want to see me wig on, wig off? Do you want to see with tits, no tits?
So yeah, no, that whole age thing and so on and so forth. I think it's just a myth, and it's more of a kind of like how it's just kind of like a shield for certain type of people to what's the word, make themselves feel good about things. It's kind of like how, like, you have those people that are like attractive and pretty, and they're like, oh, nobody wants to date me, I'm so ugly. But I'm like, sir, you have like 30 people literally drawing themselves at you. Don't come to me talking about, oh, I'm ugly, but stop it.
It's coming from somewhere, right?
Stop it. It's coming from that they want attention. I mean, maybe you're not getting what you want, but cut it out. I ain't talking about that bullshit.
I remember I was watching TikTok. Was it TikTok or Instagram? There was one meme about Valentine's Day. It was like, there was like, oh, you're not on here saying, oh, you wish you had a Valentine. You wish you had a Valentine. You have a Valentine, but they're just too ugly. They're just too ugly. You just want to date them. You tell me there's nobody that wants to be a Valentine. They want to be a Valentine. You keep ditching them. Exactly. You just don't want them.
You just want them unnecessary high standards.
But let's be honest. They're like, not to say that we don't bag, right? Like, because we're two very handsome individuals.
I don't, and I'm okay with it. No, I'm okay. Let me tell you a story. We're so not gonna get to this topic for today.
We're gonna get to the topic, but let him finish the
story. So we're not gonna get to this topic. I'm about to edit the title to nonsense, just banter.
Let's go.
So there was some commentary that came because you know how me and Sosa used to work together. We got laid off, so now we don't work together. So there was this, not really controversy, but there was this whole situation where people used to make fun of us because whenever me and Sosa hung out together, both at work, outside of work, there were breaks, so on and so forth, it would be an interesting dynamic because nothing but gay people would hit on him, and all the straight heterosexual females would hit on me. And the irony behind that is like it should be the other way around. Because
security.
But no, it was interesting because I had
groceries after work.
Exactly. I had tell me that one time when that one lady literally molested me. So like, oh, you work for the FTA? Oh, let me see your ID. And I'm like, man, get hands off. I was like, no, stop it. And hello, gay friend is all up on Michael like, ooh, I like your hair. Is that real? How long did it take you? And I'm like, he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. He's like, you want to switch? I'm like, nah, exactly. I'm good. I'm like, you stay with your power bottom over there. I'll take my risk with the female. I know what I'm doing. It's been like 16 years since I had one, but I think I know what I'm doing. I got this. I can handle this. So, yeah, like 8 people pointed it out. They're like, it's real. Like, every time you and Sosa hang out, it's like us, but dudes handle him. That's, but females handle you. And I'm like, but no, I don't bag anymore. And I'm happy with it. Because I'm kind of like at a point in time where, like, I don't want attention and I don't want affection.
But if you want it, you can get it. That's what the point of trying.
No, I give off too many omega waves, if that makes sense.
Omega waves, beta waves.
I give off one too many omega waves, and people just think clear. I think with me, what it is because I've had this conversation with Terry before, because me and him have differences on opinions on the topic, because he's like, you attract what you put out, which I kind of sort of agree with, but at the same time, I don't necessarily agree with. Because I think also your surroundings, your area, the route you follow, so on and so forth, also kind of affect it, because you could be the most happiest person in the world, and you're not going to attract happy people. 9 out of 10 times it's gonna be physically attraction first, and then your aura, then everything else, so on and so forth. So, but for me, I think I'm at a point in time where there were 2 individuals in particular that I was interested and invested in. One, which I should have never been interested in to begin with, but then I also know that that was not a possibility. And that was more of a kind of like temporary means to an end in the sense that I knew that it was never going to go anywhere. So it kind of worked out because I was okay with it. And then, two, there was another one that was a long time going. 15 years, so you know who it is at this point in time. That's the only clue you're going to get. 15 years. Wait, 13. 14. Y'all know who it is. But then again, with this person in particular, I addressed it, I think, twice. I got an answer, but you know, there's that side of you that still wants to keep trying and so on and so forth. So I think finally I kind of like made my peace with those two particular situations. Okay. I closed the book on it. I'm moving on from it. So right now I'm kind of like in a headspace where I'm like, leave me alone. Let me enjoy this peaceful transition. And when I'm ready to return to dating and so on and so forth, and attracting and getting and bagging and whatever terminology you want to use, we'll get to that, because then you also got to consider we have the situation with Mr. Snug, which is completely over. I'm gonna leave that alone, but then we kind of saw that come. However, I do feel that he has a part to play. It might just not be the part I think he's intending to play. I think there's a reason and a purpose why I met him and why he's in my life right now. But I think it's completely different from what I actually think it is. But, well, it's still...
So what levels of like readiness are you looking to be before you start reaching?
With my current, with everything that's going on right now, or just because, you know, that's a very... that's a loaded question.
I mean, but at the same time, sometimes, like, you know, Rihanna, we found love in the hopeless place. Sometimes it's not ever quite going to be the perfect like situation of life where you meet somebody. Sometimes it could be at the very lowest.
Therapist question.
So what do you?
I need you to start this therapy in this snuggle business, so you can leave me alone and stop harassing me with these fucking questions.
I'm sorry, you don't have to answer the question.
No, I answer it. It's fine. This is what the podcast is about. It's a double-edged situation. Okay. I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready. And that's fine, because that's something, like I said, I made my peace with, and that's something I'm aware of. And I know in discussing that with people, they're like, oh my God, that's so lonely. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you need to understand, look at it from a different perspective. Some people are meant to date. Some people are meant to marry. Some people are meant to be single. Some people are meant to be isolated and have friendships and productive interactions and so on and so forth, but they're just not meant to romantically be involved. I think I fall into that category. I don't have the patience and capacity to be with another person. After 4 hours, I'm fucking bored and I want to strangle them. But it gets to the point like they breathe and I want to punch them in the face. I know it's terrible. Whatever. I spoke to my therapist about it. But at the same time, if it happens, I will honestly say that at this point in time, I'm much more willing to engage and see where it goes as opposed to before. I was completely cut off and I'm like, no, we could be friends with benefits, we could be fuck buddies, whatever the case may be. If you want to have a platonic, casual, you want to hang out, catch movies, so on and so forth, we could do that. But now, as I've, with therapy and so on and so forth and addressing things, I'm a little bit more open to meeting someone and then have it lead to something. The as my therapist calls it, so she calls my quote unquote tactical forecasting fortune telling, because I have this insider reference that goes all the way back to when I was younger. So basically, you know how like my brain, because of my like 80 50 60,000 diagnoses, like I'm always overthinking and everything, and I'm kind of like Batman. Whenever I'm in a situation, I already have like my backups have backups, and I already have 20 different solutions as to how this could possibly go. So I call that tactical forecasting. She calls it fortune telling. So I said it before, like when I meet someone, within 4 minutes, I can accurately, but like 85% success rate, kind of like measure whether or not what this person is, whether they're going to be a friend, we're going to get along, so on and so forth. So I think that's the only bad thing is going into it. I have to kind of like step away from that and just if I meet a person, let it go where it goes. If it turns into something, it turns into something. But I can't go into it from the beginning like, okay, there's I see this pattern, that pattern, that pattern, that pattern. So most likely, based on my experiences, it's gonna end up either A, B, or C. It just, but I'm a little bit more open to if I met the right person. Um,
So your tactical forecasting is kind of like a safeguard for you not to get hurt again.
She says that, but I don't really think it's a safeguard. I think it's just it's something for a lot of people where people that are put in situations or people that live lives where they're constantly fighting things that are greater than themselves. I think it's just kind of like a warrior's instinct that they just develop, and it's like something you can't just turn off. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. Because if it was safeguarding, then it would be more like I said in my own situation, where like I wouldn't even entertain the person. And I mean, look, I give you hugs when I see you. I don't fucking hug people. So with that said, I'll be like, people be like, I'm a hugger. I'm like, nope, you stay right the fuck up. Because my sister, let me tell you, my sister be mad at me because my sister calls me and we'll talk, and she's like, I love you, and I'm like. She's like, I love. What? She's like, she'll say it like 6 times, and I'm like, yeah. Look at that guy. Bye.
Got you.
Same thing with my nieces and nephews. They come to hug me. I'm like, why the fuck are you hugging me? Like, get off me. Same thing with my mom. Just stopped at this point in time. My mom doesn't even get offended anymore. She doesn't even try. She just looks at me and she's like, and I'm like, Mom, we don't need to do this, okay? Just to give you an example, like, yeah. Cause shit, I hug you every time I see you, so that takes a lot. That does take a lot. I just want to go to bed, and like I did my good deed for the day.
Coming to the notes that we're
Mike is getting on my nerves. You sir, I'm gonna need a bigger desk. I'm gonna have to get one that goes on the table or something, because we'll see what happens.
So the topic of today's discussion you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, we could did we finish the Sailor Moon thing before we talk?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay, so basically the projected topic. We have like 30 something. Close to 40 minutes. I think we'll be able to do it. So we are calling it the Gendo Ikari project. If you have seen Neon Genesis Evangelion and you know who Gendo Ikari is, he was the dad of Shinji Ikari, the Eva pilot. This dude was a total douche. Total douche. So I just thought it was cute to name it after that. So basically, the purpose, the main the discussion point is the idea of this notion of father figures in our lives, specifically single parent. Because I don't really want to say a single mother households, because that's.
Well, you can say single parent. It could be either father taking care of kids or the
sometimes
mother.
you might have a stepdad, sometimes you might have an uncle or something that's a father figure, and they're not necessarily a parent for the context of the terms, but only to purposes they are. So we'll just kind of say more single parent households and how there's this big belief, in a lot of communities, not only the gay, black, color, so on, Terry moment, struggle with the gay black man, Terry moment, but just in families in general, where there's that notion that, the absence of a father figure is what leads to a lot of men developing into like either homosexuals or being punks or weaks or whatever. And not weeks as in days of the week, but week as in W-E-A-K. That's how you spell it, right? Yeah. I forget how it's spelled. No. So, basically that the absence of a father figure early on in life leads to men not being
fully developed.
That whole, I'll say nonsense, because I really think it is.
So let me ask, so what is masculinity that is kind of like only a male figure or father figure in this case could enforce on a
old school? So our definition of that is different from this current generations, because I hate being that old guy that says, oh, you millennials and you generationals and this and that. But from where I came from, masculinity had a general overtone of, male provider, so on and so forth, yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it was more associated with, you know, as a person, as a man, as a male, you're doing what needs to be done to get done. It went beyond the whole connotations of, you have to be a man, you have to be straight acting, and this and that, and so on and so forth. And man, that, like, you had manners, you were polite, you knew how to clean, you knew how to wipe your ass. If your mom said, I need you to get groceries from the stores, you went and got groceries from the store. If your little sister was being bullied by, you went and took care of that. If, one of your boys got in trouble, then that's what, masculinity meant. That's like where I came from, and that's what.
And so, throughout your life, like growing up to where we are currently present in 2025, what is your own personal definition of masculinity?
Do I have to say it all over again?
I mean,
it hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed. Because then the whole thing is, the part to it is that social norms and constructions play into it. Because I don't want to dive into the whole kind of like gender thing with identity and so on and so forth.
Because normal is a myth.
This is a concept. Because that's the other thing. Because what is masculine for one person it could be not for another.
Right.
Like I said, usually the generalized notion is that with masculine, it's associated with the more male dominant traits. The hunter, the alpha, the provider. Men don't cry. This is that, so on and so forth. But as I've grown into an adult and as I have become older and so on and so forth, that's all bullshit. Because I don't want to say it's what the fuck is that, a fly? Oh. I don't want to say it's an agenda, but it's kind of like what led to a lot of trauma and what's the word I'm looking for? Not really deficiencies, but a lot of inability to properly function as a male. There's something else I'm on a sideline with. Like, for example, me and Terry had a conversation about this. It was more of a discussion, and I'm pretty sure he's still mad at me, and it's fine. Just to give you an example, we're gonna go off topic for a quick second. So he has I think a cousin or something. I can't remember, or uncle, whatever the case may be, that has a child. I believe children. The two children are like 5 and 6. And we were having a conversation where, he was telling me that the father is opened up a like lemonade stand for them to sell lemonade, and then he's making them sell like candy for the school to teach them to be financially independent and responsible and so on and so forth. And I said, that's good. I applaud that. I commend that. But at the same time, they're 5 and 6. They're children. Let them be children. There's a time and place for everything. Like I said, I understand and I agree with the instilling, be responsible with your finances, generational wealth, so on and so forth from an early age. But at the same time, like, they're children. Let them do children things, and then maybe as they get older, so on and so forth. So, not to throw Terry under the Terry, I'm not picking on you. This is a conversation we have. So, no, because sometimes there's people like, you like picking on Terry. Like, I do not like picking. It's just we have these conversations and we don't see eye to eye on them, and when we don't see eye to eye on them, they kind of become kind of like keynote experiences for the podcast. But anyway, so it led into a conversation where he was like, well, people don't know the struggle of the children of color. You know where this is going. Because, listen, I love Terry. I appreciate Terry as a friend. Me and Terry have been friends since 2001. It's 2020. We've been friends for 25 years. But I've always said sometimes he goes overboard with the whole struggle of the gay black man situation, so on and so forth. So his commentary was, oh, well, you don't know the struggle of black children, especially us. We have to struggle more because of generational wealth and this and that. And so I'm like, I get that, but let's focus on the fact that they're children. We do not need to bring everything else into it. Like, that's them. So coming back to what I was saying, that example is like, as we grow up, all these things are instilled on us that as we grow older and we develop, it's kind of like sabotaging and creating trauma because instead of us just living our life and developing as we're supposed to develop as human beings, now we have all these things added onto us. Well, because you're black, this, because you come from a poor neighborhood, this, because you live in a ghetto, this, because you don't have any money, I need you to do this, where it gets to the point where like, I'm just trying to be a fucking child. Like, I'm just trying to play with my fucking Power Rangers and my Pokemon. Like, when I get to the point where that has to be addressed, let me address it. So as now, for example, 5, 6, 7, I'm trying to play with a Power Ranger, but now I can't even do that because now I'm thinking about wait for this, that, so on and so forth. And it's like by the time I become an adult, I'm already going into adulthood with all this other shit. So now, how am I supposed to have a productive, reasonable, normal existence when I'm coming with all this baggage that wasn't even mine to begin with? Because I'm a big fan of accountability. And you know, I'm all for accountability. So my whole thing is, yes, I will agree with, there's systems in place that oppress us. Yes, there's the whole school to prison pipeline, the oppression of colored people, so on and so forth, welfare, systematic oppression, so on. I don't disagree with any of that. I agree with it, but at the same time, I'm a big believer of just because you are born and come from a certain place doesn't mean that's what you're going to be in life. Well, take me for an example. I came from Dominican Republic. I came here when I was 7. I grew up in the Heights. Now, at that point in time, my mom was a junkie. My mom was an addict. My stepdad was pretty much the Washington equivalent of Tony Montana at that point in time. So if we're to base it on this logic, then at this point in time, then I should have either been an addict, a dealer, a slinger, a plug, or I should have been on Tony Montana's level. Did I do that? No. I veered away from that. I went for my education. I got my degrees. I graduated. Now I'm on my own. I'm on my living, working, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. So, I get it, but at the same time, just because you grow up and come from a certain, doesn't mean that you're stuck in there forever and you have to be a part of that. Same thing with generational wealth and so on and so forth. Because then that was the other thing we got into was that I told him, you can't be mad at someone if they're born with a silver spoon. Because if I meet you and you're a billionaire, I can't be like, oh, you're a billionaire, I hate you, you should be paying for me and solving homeless and so on and so forth. Because okay, I get charitable work, so on and so forth, donations, yada yada yada, but at the same time I have to be that person to be like, just because I have money doesn't mean I have to help you in your situation. Because to be fair, let's reverse it. Did you help me in my situation? I get it. I came from money. Not that I can put this for the purpose of this example. It's right. You can't be mad at that person. Yeah, if they choose to be altruistic and, Mother Teresa and donate and use their wealth to empower, great. I love you for that. But at the same time, if you choose not to, we can't direct generations of what has happened with our culture, us being whatever we are, and projecting it on that person because they now have something that we might necessarily want or need. Because that's another thing that's another topic we're going to have for another day. I meant to follow up with you on that is the obsession with money.
Yeah. And
constantly wanting to be rich, but that's a whole nother topic. So, going back to what we were saying, so I told him there needs to be a sense of accountability where we could sit here, bend and so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, if I have money, it's my choice to share it, not share it, so on and so forth, and you can't hate me for that, and you can't be like, well, if he was white or if he was black, he would have done the same thing, blah, 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 because let's don't do that.
Just like the conversation that you and Terry had in regards to generational wealth, there's also generational trauma
as well.
Some traumas that you necessarily would never or had never had is now part of your adult life because it's traveling through genetics. So there's that as well.
But then isn't that our responsibility as a person to either be better or stay in that and continue to...
That's why it's such a major conundrum where...
Because that's where my whole perspective comes from, and that's why I constantly argue. Not necessarily, but people disagree with me and they get mad at me because, like I said, I'm a big believer of you are not forced to be in the same way you put that. And I know I'm gonna sound stereotypical, and
No,
I know I
it's
might
okay.
piss people off and so on and so forth.
No,
But
speak
the
your truth.
same way you want to put that energy into like scamming and hustling and making a quick 10,000, this, that, and the third, you could have put that into something else more productive and gotten yourself to a higher place than that instant 10K you're gonna make in one day. You could have put that same energy in mind and put it into investing. This, and that, so on and so forth, and gotten yourself somewhere else. So we, like I said, you can't really sit here and be like, oh, because of this. No. But like I said, I do agree with you with the the
Generational
trauma and the thing and so on and
That's
so forth. But
nice,
like I
yes.
said, it's at that point in time when you're developed. Because let me correct that. When you have a proper mindset where you are proper, because when you're a child. Up until maybe like, I don't know. I mean, I know people that had their 2 cents and their P's and Q's when they were 16, and I know people that are like 46 and they still can get it together. So it's different for everybody. But at that point in time where you're mentally developed and you know right from wrong and so on and so forth, that's when you need to be like, okay, am I gonna remain here, keep being a gangbanger and feeding into what my family has been, or am I gonna, do better? Or even if you can't do better, try. Because I know that sometimes for some people it is hard to get away from it, and for some people they're locked in because of whatever the case may be. But I just honestly think it's a whole you, and whether you want to stay in it or get away or do better from that whole situation.
So I feel like, not feel like, but do you believe that growing up in a single parent household that you kind of had to become older at such a young age, and you were determined to do good for yourself, so this way you don't have to fall into the stereotypicals of like the nature nurture, and you can't blame life because you took accountability for your own life?
So let's address the main thing. Let's address the main thing. Me being in a single parent household.
Yes.
Me being with my mama as the main parental unit, and kind of no somewhat stable paternal figure up until, because I wouldn't even really consider him a dad. Had nothing to do with me being homosexual at all. Okay. So that's the first thing I'm going to address, is that because that has that link and that has that stereotype and bias to it. I knew what I was since the day I was born. Since the day I had concepts of what attraction was and what liking someone, and ooh, I find that sexy, and ooh, that turns me on, and ooh, I like that, and ooh, that makes me feel good, I pretty much knew what it was. Me coming from a single mother household did not in any way, shape, or form want me to put on heels or dresses or go outside and be like, yes, girl, this, that, and the third. That had nothing to do with any of that. Because I would tell you, coming from a single parent household, if anything, I will go on record, and me and my mom have a very strenuous and hazardous and beyond toxic relationship. I will go on record and commend her and say that she fucked up more than she did good, but she put on her big boy pants, or her big woman pants in this case, and did what she had to do, because she tried her damn best to fill both roles. If anything, I think it was a burden on her, because she was trying so hard to, make me such a man and make me so masculine that in a way it was a bit overkill, and I had to tell her, like, calm down. Like, I need you to take 2 steps back. I will say little shit like not learning how to play baseball, or because little things like semantic shit like that. Okay. I obviously couldn't do with her because she was a female, and that just wasn't. She had no interest in sports, baseball, so on and so forth. So I would say that part does kind of play into it, especially if you have because a lot of from the generation we come, a lot of our mothers were hard, like they were workers. It was pretty much they went to work all day. We came home from school. We had to have them dishes, everything clean, do our homework. Then when they got from work, they would cook. Possibly you might get lucky and they might help you with your homework, but half of the time they didn't know what the fuck was going on. They were so frustrated with that math homework. They threw it right in our face. And like, if you're going to school and you don't get this, what makes you think I'm going to get this? Yeah. And by 9 o'clock, not even like at 11 o'clock when that telenovela and the news was over, they was knocked out. And before you got up to morning, they might have had your breakfast ready and they were off to next work. And then maybe on the weekend, after they saw their sister, grandma, and so on and so forth, you know, if you were that type of family, you went to church, you got to spend time together, so on and so forth. But she did what she did, and like I said, I think she overkilled in trying to constantly drill that. Because with her, it was always like, oh, it was, you gotta get a girlfriend. Then after you got a girlfriend, after X amount of years, it's gonna get serious. Then you're gonna propose. Then you're gonna get married. Then within 1 year of being married, it's fucking hot. You're gonna have kids. Then you might have 1, 2 kids, 3 kids, and by the time you have your first kid, you should have a house or an apartment or whatever. Or if not, you guys could live here, and I'll take care of the grandkids, and you could go to work, and then eventually the two of you pull your money to pull POLL your money together. You could get an apartment. According to her, that was my life. You know, she did do the kind of stereotypical men don't cry, eye contact, you know, shake hands, speak when spoken to. Because, you know, like I've always been monotone. Like I have no range, no oomph, no bass in my voice. Like I've always had a very low monotone voice, and for the most part, you know what I mean, I'm always polite. You know, so but she did do like stuff like that, you know, open doors for them first, you know, treat ladies like they want to be treated, but females above all things, yada yada yada. So she did, but I don't like, honestly, she did what she could. Yeah. And
so unintistically, would you say that you checked out like 80% of the list that she had for you already?
I mean, she had a list. I don't know. You know what? I can't. You know, no. You know what? To be fair.
I mean, you checked like.
No, I was just gonna say I had to think about it. I fucking hate you. You subliminal bitch. I see what you did there. No, because you gotta consider. I've been married to a female twice. I might have a kid out there. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. If I do, please bring them forward. My mom will be happy to take them off your hands. I know I had my close calls when I was, but no, I mean, to be fair, with the exception of the kids, well, we're not gonna talk about the other two. We're gonna leave them alone. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. No, we're gonna leave those two alone in particular. But no, yeah, she's that's. I don't think that's what she. No, honestly, I think that's the other part where she doesn't complain, because like pretty much everything on that list that she had these expectations that I was gonna live into, and as a man and so on and so forth, were pretty much all together. Because like I had a girlfriend, I had relationships, I was married twice, I had my own place, own job. I never got a car, but that's more of a choice, a personal choice than anything else. I don't think I have the mental capacity to drive. I'll be running bitches over left and right if I had a car, so it's better I don't have one. But no, I think I checked off everything. I think that's why later on in life, after I came out and I told her and everything, like she still doesn't accept it, but she respects it. So, you know, because then we try to have those conversations, and I told her, I'm like, well, technically, regardless, you know, like I get it. I might have like, you know, thrown a wrench in your plans when I told you, you know, I was kind of sort of strict. Well, I was more bisexual back then. I'm more gay now than anything else, but. On the weekends, I'm straight Monday through Thursday, then I'm gay Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I mean, hey,
I could be whatever you want for the right price, you know. But no, like I said, we have that because now she honestly at that point in time where like she stopped asking me about girlfriends, she stopped asking me about getting married. She still asked me about the whole kid situation, but only because I did have plans for me and the wife to have children, because she was going to be my surrogate. But then turns out there's some medical stuff that makes us incompatible, and then also the whole HIV and so on and so forth, yada yada. So we kind of had that like once every 8 months we have that whole discussion. She's like, oh, so how's the surrogacy thing going? Did you find candidates? Since you know apparently you and the wife have issues. She's like, because I know you're not shooting blanks. I'm like, how the hell you know that? But I'm like, whoa, like what? Seriously? She's like, well, you know, I used to hear you and your ex all the time. I'm like, man, that was like 16 years ago. Like, you know, but that's where we're at.
So just like how your mom made a list, like what she expected you growing up to be a man or what a man should be for you, now coming to the terms of where we are currently and where and how you are with yourself comfortably, or just getting there. What's your list for yourself? What are some of the things that you have listed for you?
Oh, they're mostly done.
Okay.
No, they're mostly done. I still got the trip to Japan. Oh God. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. He's probably not listening to this, and the husband's probably not listening to this anyway. So, or watching this, whatever. No, I had most of the things I did. I might go back to school.
Okay.
I might go back to school now that I got my fucking transcripts 20 years later.
Yes.
I got what I need to go back. What I'm going for, I have no idea, but I'm going back to school. But no, on that list, Japan for sure. Whether it's going to be 4 days a week or 2 weeks, I have no idea. But Japan for sure. That's left on the list. The whole surrogacy thing is there, but my whole thing is if by the time I'm 44, the surrogacy thing doesn't happen, or the third child technically in this perspective, if I don't have that child, the third child, by the time I'm 44, I might just completely abandon it.
Okay.
Because I think at that point in time, it's not really a age thing, but you got to consider I'll be of a certain age at that point in time. By the time that child hits 18, 20, I mean, I might be of physical condition to actively be in their life, but at that point in time, half the things I'm supposed to be doing with them and helping them do, I might be like 80, 90. Like, what the fuck am I gonna like? Well, we're gonna go to the fucking field and play baseball when I'm 90.
I mean, the way the technology is like forming nowadays,
I might die throwing that fucking baseball. You know how traumatic? You imagine how traumatic that'll be? You go with your child to go play baseball and you just die while you throw it at them. Do you know that we're trying not to create more generations?
It could be a robot situation where you put on a VR helmet, like helmet, and you're like going through your kids' life, like, yeah, go throw that ball, Johnny, and the comfort of your own home.
That AI robot is for sex purposes only, not, and that's about it. I said what I said. But,
is AI better than sex than human sex?
At this point in time, with the options I have on Grindr and everything else, yeah, I know. Swallow that orange juice, because you know.
I think AI is more creative when it comes to imaginary sexting than it does with actual person.
No, but yeah, no, that the affair with the midget. Yeah, I know. My therapist gets mad. She's like, "You need to stop saying that." But you know what? It's gonna happen.
An affair with a midget.
It's gonna happen.
You gonna have an affair with a midget? That gotta be a big.
Not a midget. You know who the midget is.
I know.
Everybody knows who the midget is. So that affair, I'm gonna get my 4 hours. All I need is me and him 4 hours, and that's all I need. We don't have to discuss what happens afterwards. He doesn't even have to acknowledge my existence. We don't even have to be friends. We continue to be in each other's life afterwards. I just need those 4 hours with him, and that's it. So that's on that list. I think that's it, because everything else I pretty much did. Like I launched a podcast. I got my first 2 degrees. I had my little mental health breakdown where I disappeared to Alaska for a whole 3 days. Had the time of my life. I got my little live sex show 4 times in person. I was on the list. I know that sounds like so, but to me, it's my list. To me, that meant something. To someone else, it might be like, this dirty bitch. But no, to me, it meant something. I met some great people. I did the Rockefeller internship for 2 years. I did the John Jay. I had
That's right. Yeah.
Successful social work career for 9 years. I mean, I was an advocate. I was on YouTube. So, like, a lot of the things have been checked more or less, like, checked off. It's like those main... I mean, there's probably, like, 1 or 2 more, like, small, petty situation. Like, maybe one day buy me, like, a full Dolce & Gabbana outfit. But I can't do that anymore. I don't have the body for it. I fit into Adidas now, so it's mostly all Adidas. Nah. Maybe once for my birthday. Only because... You know, I was a big Kylie fan back in the days. I still am. Kylie Minogue, not Kylie Jenner. Let's. I was a big Kylie fan, especially during her "Can't Get You Out of My Head" era, and you know, Dolce & Gabbana were like the main sponsors for her thing. So I always had this thing where, like, on one of my birthdays, I just wanted to have a whole in homage to her, because you know that 2001 was a very important year for me. A lot happened. That was when I graduated high school, went to college, and a whole bunch of other shit I don't want to get into. So maybe one of these these next 3 birthdays, I might add that to the list. But it's a little minor shit like that.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
No, what?
Like what?
I'm looking at you like, look at my bestie all accomplished, checking off his own
I was
list.
like, you want to add something to it? I was like, is you about to throw some shit?
I would
you know
never.
what?
Me, Dexter.
I want to throw one more in there, but I think this one might naturally happen. Let me see. There is. I'm doing that because of the heat, not because I'm crying or having a moment. It's fucking hot in here.
You guys
this
got so emotional.
I ain't got no fucking emotional. I will zoom in on that camera. Hell no. I ain't fucking emotional. Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, we don't like being vulnerable, Dex?
No. Don't you know that's why most of my exes broke up with me?
But you know, vulnerability is a beautiful thing.
Fuck vulnerability.
Why?
That's why you have guns and knives and judo and self-destructive behavior
No, those
and PS5s.
are just like
Don't do your therapist
no,
shit
I'm
right
just
now.
saying those are external things that we use to like project, but you know, vulnerability.
Some of us don't project. Some of us just go in the closet, scream, come back out, and take a cold shower.
Okay, yeah.
I have a booth with insulated glass and. That's an episode. I think I had spoken on that. No, you know what it is? I had spoken on it so many times. I really don't want to. I'm pretty sure we covered it in one of the Dennis episodes. We'll come back to it later on. I'm sure we'll throw it into an episode later on just to retouch.
Like for highlights.
No, not for highlights. I think if we get more people involved in the project, or maybe when we have a group episode with all of us, just because I think if I do rediscuss it again, I want to rediscuss it in a group setting as opposed to a one-on-one setting, just because like I've addressed it in one-on-one so many times that I don't want to, but okay. I think just to get everybody else's opinion and perspective and point of view and so on and so forth in a bigger setting would be more, but there's technically 3 people. I would say 4, but one of them is dead. I mean, she was like 80 when I met her. My old junior high school math teacher.
What was her name?
Rita Kapasakalian. She was a doctor. That lady believed in me in ways that I didn't even believe in myself. To the point that like I did that whole stereotypical good boy gone dumb situation, and she was just looking at me like, you ain't about that life. She's like, you know, I'm gonna let it slide.
So it's pretty much you was like an angelus, but she made you to an angel.
She's like, you've been late to work she's like, not late to work, she's like, you've been late to class this whole week, you haven't done your homework, and I know you were a grade A student and you flunked that. She's like, so you know what, I'm gonna let you have your little moment, I'm gonna let you have your little rebellious streak, because you know, I'm guessing you're going through whatever it is you're going through, but next week you better get it together, because if you don't get it together, I'm gonna get you together. If I don't get you, I'm gonna call your mom, and I know she's gonna get you together. And I'm like, oh fuck. But she, God, that lady really, she really went out. Like she went like 1,000 for me. But she was already like 90-something years old, and she was a teacher. And then we kept in contact when I left, and pen pal situation, and so on and so forth. And then eventually she passed away. I sent her a letter, and her daughter replied, and she's like, you know, I hate to inform you, but you know, at 92 she passed away. And I'm like, bitch, she got to live 92. Like, good for her, because
that part.
I'm like, listen, all her students will never forget who she was. But no, just because we have a few minutes left, I guess we could add to the list, which was kind of part of the episode we did that had no audio, so we might have to redo. You guys didn't get the full.
Oh yes, we do apologize for that.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get to that at some whenever Mr. Raheem wants to stop. Dexter, behave. Anyway, so no, there was this quickly. I don't know what I'm going through. You know, you figure like I was going through like 12 steps or something. But I kind of, because I've been reflecting as I'm getting older, and you know, now that I've been laid off and I'm currently collecting unemployment, and I have more time to think and be free and recollect and reflect and so on and so forth. There was one friend I had when I first came out that was not Terry. There was another friend I had, and I didn't realize this until way later on, but this dude like idolized me and I was like the star of his eyes and the center of his world. Not like in a creepy stalker way, course, yeah. But like in like a very support, like because you know how like when we were young, a lot of because you know like a lot of us, a lot of us were in situations where we wanted to be out, but we couldn't because either we had that one parent or family that were not accepting. It was like, oh, homosexual is bad, so on and so forth. So he lived with his dad, who was in that mindset, and we used to hang out. And for the most part, I used to help him break out because I was volunteering for a nonprofit organization. So I would kind of cover for him and used to lie that, oh, he's volunteering or he's part of the community program or he's part of the after-school program or whatever the case may be to get him outside of that environment. And then we would always just like go to the village or the GMAC or whatever, hang out and so on and so forth. But I didn't realize the extent of the reverence, respect, and love that he had for me, because I just thought I was just helping him out, because then I was involved with Michael at that point in time, who was the fucking devil, still is the devil. I don't know if he's alive. And because of the situation with Michael, I guess eventually he started, Jose, his name was Jose, started developing feelings for me, so on and so forth, and it became a bit of a love triangle that I was not aware of, because I was so into my bad boy. Everything revolved around the bad boy that I kind of didn't fully acknowledge and give the attention and respect that Jose deserved. And now, later on in life, I kind of would like to meet him again, to see what happened and possibly apologize for inadvertently being a dick and getting caught up in other things and not really. But then again, we were all like 15, 16 at that point in time, so we really I can't be too harsh on myself. But I know eventually he graduated, and when he graduated, he went abroad to study in Germany. So he was able to get away. Like, we were able to help him, and I was really pushing for it. Like, every day I was like, you need to take this study abroad. Like, you need to get out. And he got accepted. And he called me before he left. He's like, I'm at the airport. I'm getting ready to go to Germany. I just wanted to thank you, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. That's the last time we spoke. I haven't heard from him. I tried finding him on Facebook, but I couldn't. So maybe we'll run into each other. Maybe not.
Tomorrow's not the end of the days, right?
Kind of hoping
tomorrow
we do.
Always come.
Yeah, that'll be part of the revisited podcast episode. There's him. There's Rainique for obvious reasons, but I'm not getting into that. And then the one we were talking about earlier that we were supposed to start the episode with, but we'll come back to that later on. And that would be Juan. There are 3 people I would love to run into, not for bad reasons, but it's more for curiosity, kind of like, where has your life left you? Not left you, like, where has
life treated you?
Like, what kind of life have you lived, and what kind of experiences have you had, and what has been going on? It's more of that than a reconnecting or trying to get back together or whatever case. I'm just like really curious to like see what happened and what journey they went on and where it led them to.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching us here at the podcast. And be responsible.
Wow.
This is Ra, your lovable cuddly cuddle master here, / therapist, also the awesome hugger in Brooklyn, and our lovely host, Dex the what?
Who was doing all the talking today? Oh, that's fine, because we're coming back and we're role reversing. You're not going anywhere. I'm going to get you some ice, some water. I'm going to freshen you up.
This video, this audio of us having this conversation, discussion, please don't forget to follow, like, or subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys.